very bizarre, isn't it, when you think about where Phil Foden was at the end of last season, voted the PFA Player of the Year. You probably heard Troy saying that package that his fall off this season has been massive. What is that down to when a player from season end, best player, best Premier League player, and then all of a sudden this season he can't even really string a pass together, get a chance, be given a run out, and now we're talking about Man City maybe spending £100 million to replace Kevin De Bruyne, and that you would think that would have been his role.
Well, do you know, I never thought he'd have another season like he had last season because he hadn't had it up to that point. I mean, what a season. Everything he hit. I mean, it felt like last season that his finish was that one where he just on that right-hand side, he'd let it go across his body, and just inside the D on the edge of the box, he'd fire it into that far top corner. I don't know how many goals last season he hit the exact same. But it felt like, and even in the summer with England, then he just wasn't the same. I'm yet to see Phil Foden play for England, and I go, oh yeah, like he's the main man. And people are trying to make excuses. Yeah, get Bellingham out his position, change his position for Bellingham. No chance. And I've said that before. There's no way I'm swapping Bellingham for Phil Foden. It's not happening. It just feels like if he's not under that comfort blanket, which is Manchester City in that Pep system, he just looks a bit lost. And that's what playing for England. And we've seen it. Like, you tell me a time you've seen him play for England and you've gone, yeah.
No, you are right. The only thing I'd say is not many people in an England shirt do produce their club football. But I hear what you're saying.
But when you talk about moments, so we've seen Saka play well for England.
Bellingham's had
We've seen Bellingham all the time. We've seen Jack Grealish play well for England. We've seen, who else have we seen in those attacking there? Cole Palmer step up. We've seen players that play for other big clubs but go to England and pretty much the exact same. He's never done that, but the fact that he's been so poor this season, that does really surprise me. He is a very, very, very good player. You can't hide that fact. But I just wonder if maybe we always talk about systems and we talk about the flair in the games going out the window and players are being overcoached. I just wonder if maybe Phil Foden is under that. Now, again, don't get me wrong. He's working with one of the greatest coaches ever, and he's won absolutely everything there is to win. But I still never watch Phil Foden and think he's playing with a real freedom. I think even when he drifts into certain...
Whose fault is that?
Well, it's a little bit of his and a little bit of Pep's. Obviously, I mean, Pep's got the absolute best out of him, but I just feel like when he drifts into certain areas, I never look at him and go, like, it never seems to be off the cuff. Do you know what I mean when I say that? Like, certain players get the ball, they do something off the cuff, and you go...
Sometimes, like natural talent.
Yeah, but it's never really like... Cole Palmer will try... Okay, prime example. Palmer against Liverpool, when he does that mad turn and then rolls it... I
don't know. Phil, I mean, there's a reason why he's voted PFA player, right?
Yeah, because he was brilliant.
I know, but he does have that natural talent.
No, he played... I'm not getting me wrong, he's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
But I never see him play with that real freedom. I always feel like he's under that kind of system type player, which he's been very good at. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but... I'm not quite sure we'll see the best of Phil Foden playing for England. I just don't.
What do you make of Florian Wirtz? Because when we were talking about him in our meeting, he divided the room, right? A couple of the boys said he's fantastic. You were a bit like, he's okay.
I like him.
He's young. He's only
22 years.
Yeah.
Good player. Leverkusen, good player. Again, 100 million, and I get it because of what he's doing at Leverkusen, and he's part of obviously what they did last season, which was incredible. Had a relatively good Euros, I'd say. I wouldn't say he was a standout performer for Germany, but he did okay. But 100 million. And I'm always a bit sceptical about 100 million coming from another country into the Premier League.
I totally agree, yeah.
Because we've seen some, and it goes back years and years and years, we have seen some top players come to... I remember when Kesman, I don't know why he always brings the bell. I know they didn't pay a world record fee for him, but I remember him breaking every record there was to break in the Eredivisie. He came to Chelsea, couldn't do nothing. Like, could not do anything. So I'm always a bit sceptical when you pay that kind of money.
Well, try and name a successful £100 million player, or there or thereabouts.
Well, I mean, successful going the other way would be Harry Kane.
No, I'm talking about
into the Premier League.
So it didn't work. Obviously, Anthony.
No,
right? Pogba didn't really work. Lukaku didn't really work for.
No.
Jack Grealish not really worked for.
No, your boy. Maguire, big money.
Harry Maguire was 8.
I mean, the two exceptions you go with Virgil and Alisson.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, Declan Rice is doing well, but still not.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, yeah, okay.
Declan's doing well.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But I mean, it's so few and far between. But Flair and Wirtz is a good. You can't give us a good player.
What do you make of? I mean, Pep. Listen, I can't say anything negative about Pep because he's one of the game's greatest ever managers. Yeah. Right? But what do you make of a manager who's so good having to buy a replacement for £100 million when it looks like you should have the replacement there and maybe needs a bit more help on the field coaching?
No, Joe. It doesn't. I don't think he's doing it to replace De Bruyne, but I just think he wants options. I don't think he wants to be.
Yeah, but but Phil Foden won't be regular in that team now. If you're spending £100 million.
But I always look at Manchester City's team, and I always think that there's like 2 or 3 that are regulars. There was a period where goalkeeper was always regular.
Right
Rodri,
Carl Walker,
De Bruyne and Haaland.
Yeah.
Right?
Or Aguero, yeah.
They were always, and maybe Bernardo Silva, but I always felt that the others were like moving parts, like he played one week, not played the other week.
Yeah.
So I think Florian Wirtz comes to Manchester City for 100 million. Doesn't mean he plays every week, but it gives him more manoeuvre because Man City go deep into every competition.
Yeah.
Just gives them room for manoeuvre.
Does Phil Foden get into the midfield of every other team in the Premier League? I'm guessing yours.
Yeah, I'll take him at Arsenal. Yeah, I'll take him at Arsenal.
Start over Odegaard.
Right now, because Odegaard. But then Foden's been poor as well.
But both in their pomp. You're taking Phil Foden.
Yeah, I mean, he's been on PFA Player of the Year.
Liverpool's?
Chelsea's the one I'm looking at thinking, if they're both at their maximum, I don't think I'm taking Phil Foden over Cole Palmer.
Are you not?
No.
Okay.
And do you know why? I think Cole Palmer carries more of a goal for it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a tough one.
He's a toughie.
It's a tough one. All right, well, listen, I think it'll be an interesting chat. We've got Ricky Hatton joining us in 15 minutes, so between then and now we'll take your calls. What does the future hold for Phil Foden? 03717223344. Dial that, you can have your say next live on Drive on talkSPORT. Maybe we're talking about the future, or maybe lack of it for Phil Foden. We've asked you to phone up and perhaps have an answer to the question. 03717223344 is the number. Henry, the Liverpool fan, has dialed. Henry?
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very well. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Just want to say, fantastic show you guys put on. I think that Phil Foden should go abroad.
To where?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe Bayern or maybe PSG or somewhere like that. Broaden his horizons. He's a fantastic player. As you know, I'm a Liverpool supporter. But, maybe he should, try and experience something somewhere else in a team that's maybe, he's... I don't know, maybe where he can flourish.
Do you think that his time at City may be over then? Is that what you're saying it?
I think for his sake it should be. Yeah, I think for his sake it should be, but if he was still there, he'd always be played.
Yeah, I mean, it must be incredibly difficult for someone who's been such a top player to all of a sudden just up and just leave. I mean, I don't get me wrong, he can go and play, but why would you go anywhere? Because it's not like he's been frozen out, he's not getting any minutes. He still plays a lot of minutes.
Yeah. So
the fact for him to go, and also as well, how much are you going to send him for? He's going to be excess of 100 million, easy.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And he can't go... I sort of feel with Phil Foden, that's easy to say, that it's Man City or no one in this country.
A little bit, yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's really
still
weird.
Only young Phil Foden. Was he 24?
Yeah, he's young, yeah.
Still baby, that is, right? Still relative baby.
And I'm not sure, again, because I've made this point before, because his whole footballing and education has been under Pep. Like, he's a good player. There would have to be concerns as to how effective he's going to be when you put him into a completely different system.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, though, the shackles might be off and he might...
Yeah, a bit like Cole Palmer.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.